on YouTube? I'm back for another video. It's been months since I've made a video. Just been really busy doing a lot of stuff with family, and I've been doing a lot of writing and school. It's just been really busy, and it's been kind of slow here in the garage, I'm not gonna lie. But we'll get right into it. We'll talk about what we got going on, plans for this year, and yeah, keep you guys updated. Alrighty, so starting off, we got this bad boy in the garage. Probably one of the most favorite bikes I've owned to date. It's the perfect size. It's about the same size as the e-bikes, the Talaria and Surons that I've had in the past, but it just has way more power. It's a little, I think this is a 04 CR85, and it rips, dude. It's got an FMF pipe. It's got the jet kit for it. And it's really fast. It's kind of dirty right now. I've been riding it, haven't cleaned it lately, so she's a little dirty. But this bike has been really good to me. It had a couple little issues when I first got it. I guess there was like dust or something on the stator or the generator, whatever you want to call it. Back behind this cover right there, I had to take that off. Had to take the flywheel off and clean it. And ever since then, it's been perfect. I did also, actually, I had to buy a brand new OEM, that's brand new OEM Keen carb for this bike. The original one, the carburetor, I'll actually show it to you. Actually, I thought I threw this in the way, but I didn't. But this is the part number for the carburetor if you ever need it. Pause that and go back to it. This is the original carb that was on the bike. And you can't really tell, but I had to drill out the idle screw. Actually broke off, and it won't focus. See if it'll zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of tell. It broke off in there. I tried to drill it out to just buy a new idle screw, but it was totally screwed up. So had to junk this poor guy. I mean, besides that, it ran great. It's nice, clean carb. Those are actually stock jets that came out of the original one, and I put the new jets in it. But yeah, that's just sitting. Unfortunately, it is junk unless somebody knows how to drill that out and tap it, because I didn't want to drill it too wide to remove those threads, and then you'd have to put like an even bigger screw in it. But other than that, this bike has been flawless. Just mix it 40-1 and rip it. I think a lot of people were saying mix it 32-1, but I've had really good luck mixing it 40-1 with the two-stroke Dominator oil. It's my favorite stuff. This is my go-to. I use it for everything two-stroke. It is the most perfect stuff. It's a little pricey, but yeah, this thing is perfect. Always use this stuff. I will say I've had good luck with this stuff too, the 927. This stuff makes your bike smell crazy good. But I don't know, I like the DDM more. And it's just kind of personal preference. The label's gone on this thing, but I think this stuff is a little bit more expensive. But yeah, I just mix it with gas, kick it, and she fucking fires up, she rips. This thing will pull easy wheelie in third gear. You could be cruising in third gear, just map the throttle, and it will stand right up in third gear, even with me. And I'm not the heaviest person, I'm about 160 pounds, but this thing rips, dude. And this is the newest addition to the fleet. This is an 02 Aprilia SR50. This thing is actually really cool. I had the Yamaha Zuma before. That was one of my favorite mopeds that I've ever had. The Zuma is a great moped, but this thing just takes it up a notch. It's factory liquid cooled. I don't know if you can really see in there. Yep, yeah, it's got a radiator up in the front. It's also comes with a factory fatty pipe, which is really sick. Unfortunately, I think the previous owner, he told me that he put the cover on it when the bike was still hot. So this is all just like cover plastic that's hasn't come off. I've ridden this thing a couple times and it won't melt off or anything. So it's like crystallized on there. But yeah, factory fatty pipe, and it's liquid cooled. It's got a whole bunch of sensors and everything. You can't really see too much down in there, nothing exciting. But this bike is also factory fuel injected. It's direct injected. It has a fuel pump, and it's really cool. It's really simple. It's been really reliable so far. I probably put 50 to 70 miles on this thing so far, and it runs great. It stays really cool. I'm thinking that the previous owner took the thermostat out, because when you, just like with typical symptoms, like when you rev it up, it'll immediately cool the motor down. So that's what makes me think the thermostat's out of this thing, because it has a crank driven water pump. So, you know, as soon as you give it more throttle, it'll pump more water. So yeah. But yeah, this thing runs great. For a little moped, this thing will do 50 miles an hour and it's bone stock. Get a little, just piece of dust or something. But yeah, this thing is so sick. There you go, you get the whole picture of it. It's hilarious. I love little mopeds, man. They're so much fun. You don't need a motorcycle endorsement to ride it. I don't even think technically you even need a license, but I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me on that. Don't go ride one of these without a license. But yeah, dude, it's such a sweet little unit. Picked it up for a really good price. Had a couple of issues at first. This right taillight was like loose, and I ended up taking the whole housing apart. You just take off these 4 screws and the whole housing comes off. And this is actually the new one that I ordered. These literally had to come from Great Britain. I had to wait like 2 weeks for them to get here. But this is like what this is one that came out of there. And the bottom one is the always on. The top one is your like brake light. So when you hit the brakes, this will come on. But on the old one, this thing was like shattered at the top. It seemed like the person didn't know, because like these bulbs, the bottom bulb is a pull in, pull out type, but the top one, it goes in and you twist it. And I think the previous owner was trying to change the bulb and just shattered it. So yeah, 50 bucks later and 2 weeks later, finally got one. Now I have a spare at least. And yeah, this is a factory wire harness. So I think it's been slightly modified. I mean, with the electrical tape or whatever. And other than that, it did also have a slight issue. The battery goes in here, and it has an AGM battery in it right now. But I think the factory, it came with a lead acid, and with that, it'll throw all kinds of codes, and it just really upsets the bike. But ended up going through the special process. You have to basically like turn the key on, like hold the throttle, turn the key on, and this little injection light will blink, and it will display any codes. And I erased all the codes, wrote it around, and no more codes popped up except for the code for basically the battery. It just doesn't like an AGM battery for whatever reason. And whenever this thing dies, I'm just gonna end up putting another lead acid battery in it. But basically what I did was I took the whole top end apart and I unhooked the light and I put it under this, because this you can access with just 2 Allens. And you know, if the bike ever does start running weird or anything, pull those 2 out, you'll have direct access to that light. And then you can go through the process of checking the codes and see what's wrong with it, see what it needs. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Just a quick short video, just of me blabbing on about that thing and this thing and a whole bunch of empty space because we're waiting on projects. And it's just been really slow these days. The market in Florida just kind of sucks right now, unfortunately. Everyone's trying to sell their bikes. You know, the economy is kind of junk right now, you know, without getting too political, you guys know. But yeah, the economy just sucks right now, man. Everyone's trying to sell their bikes, you know, that are good running condition, you know what I mean? They're asking what they want to ask for it, you know, but it's really hard to find a junk bike right now that is even less than $1,000, which is crazy to me because I mean, even last year, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, I could go pick up a junk one of these little 85s for like $600, you know? I wouldn't say even junk, like just need a new piston, you know, needed minor work. You could get them for $500-600, you know, and nowadays people want $1,200 for a non-running 85. You know, people want freaking $1,500 for a TTR 125 that doesn't even run, you know, which is crazy because, you know, I've bought and sold over 100 bikes in the last 4 years. I've got a whole list. I keep track of everything that I've bought and sold, and I'm well over 100 bikes, you know, and that's nothing to brag about. That's just my personal experience and what I've been able to do. And watching the prices increase of everything. Because I mean, I've sold in the past, you know, like I rebuild these bikes for as cheap as I can. I don't intentionally cheap out and buy junk shit. Like I will buy OEM pistons, I will buy OEM parts, and you know, I just buy it as cheap as I can. I don't intentionally go and buy every little thing that the bike needs. Like for example, the graphics on this, they're kind of messed up, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna go out and spend 40, 50 bucks, 100 bucks on new graphics when they're still there and still work. Same thing with the seat, you know, little stuff like that, I just kind of ignore. Because to me, mechanically sound, good running bike is way more important than graphics and plastics, stuff like that. Like if it's on there and it's not shattered or broken or super messed up, I just leave it alone. You know, I don't even mess with it. I only go for rebuilding stuff that it needs. And from personal experience, you know, I'm no certified mechanic, nothing like that. But from personal experience, man, after rebuilding over 100 bikes, like a lot of these guys, I mean, you're wasting money, in my opinion. You know, like if it is not working at all, replace it. But if it still works, I mean, dude, don't waste the money on something that still works. Like I see so many people, like when they're doing engine rebuilds, they replace every single gasket and every single seal and blah, 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 blah. It's like, bro, you're wasting money for no reason. You know, and call me a cheapskate, call me what you want, but I've rebuilt my fair share of motors and they don't need it, dude. They don't, you know. You can argue with me all day, comment what you like, but from personal experience the last 4 or 5 years of doing this, I mean, if the seal is not completely cracked or torn, I'm putting it back in. I'm gonna spray it with WD or dip it in oil and it'll be fine. But that's enough yapping for now. I'm hoping to get some new projects in the door soon. You know, like I said, it's really dry right now, and that's just kind of a part of the game. You know, everyone bought what they wanted for Christmas for their kids or family or themselves, you know, and it's been dry the last couple months. And I've been looking, I've been searching, but it's really hard, real tough right now for a small business, whatever you want to call it. It's hard. You know, there's not many bikes for sale that are good price. You know, I put my offers in, and you know, you offer on 10 bikes, you might get one. You know, that's kind of the name of the game, something like this. But yeah, we'll see what the future brings. I'm really excited for 2025, and you know, hopefully it all goes well. Hopefully I get done with school this year, so I can not have to do this to actually make money. I can do it more as a hobby, which is what I really enjoy. But the last couple months, really the last couple years, been doing this kind of to make money. You know, it paid really well for a couple of years before the economy took a shit. I was making decent money, you know, but it is what it is at this point. You know, I still got a roof over my head. I'm thankful for everything I got, you know, and it's been great. So I look forward to it. Yeah, that's enough yapping. I look forward to this year coming up, and I hope you guys stay tuned and check out what I got coming for you. See you later.